3. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Oh. Woo.
It happened.
Woo.
YinzCenter was right.
Woo. Oh, we did it.
I still can't believe it.
We traded all of our bad players for all of a good player.
For just their good player.
For their best player.
For the best defenseman.
As the NHL decided, the best defenseman. Oh no, I can't have the music die down yet.
I know. It's
yes, because it is actually a party.
It's unbelievable.
Everybody's freaking out about it.
To get Erik Karlsson for he's making $10 million.
Woo!
And then on top of that, you cleared out $3 million.
And all of our bad players are gone.
Except for Jeff Carter. I hate to be the bearer of that kind of bad news. I know.
He just
killed the music. Killed it. Yeah, I know. But he may not play a whole lot.
All right. Yeah. So,
I mean,
that's not even. We were excited about that one because that was like.
Yeah.
Because I remember saying at one point, Connor Hellebuck was like our most realistic target, and then Kyle Dubas goes and does.
Kyle Dubas said,
GM
"No, we're gonna go for the best defenseman in the league." Edinburgh's like, okay, good, yeah, okay, good luck getting that contract.
Either way, from where I was, literally like at like the Penguin game against the Oilers and the other teams is like. Multiple other games, I'm just like, what is Ron Hextall doing?
Exactly.
And now it's
that makes everybody. I think this move alone makes everybody wonder what in the fuck was Ron Hextall really doing this entire time,
giving his buddies a contract
but like they didn't know. I mean, I guess Brock McGinn was Jim Rutherford. I almost said James, but I guess that was him. Jan Ruda, I don't think he really knew. Yeah, Jeff Carter, but and he didn't know Mikael Granlund, and he brought his terrible playing self in.
Woo!
Erik Karlsson. Your power play. So, Jake, for those that don't know, Jake Gensel will miss they're estimating the first 5 games of the season with ankle surgery.
I just want to continue to break down Erik Karlsson, though, because for those of us from 2017, do you remember how against the Ottawa Senators, he was their best player, hands down. And I know it's kind of going back into the past, and everyone's recycling the old players, but this is the guy. This is the guy that you would want to take a shot on versus any of them. And
I keep seeing that people are like, oh, Kyle Dubas has a new core 4 like he did in Toronto, and I'm like, yeah, but. Here's the thing. This core 4 has proven that they can win. Erik Karlsson's been to 2 Stanley Cup finals. No? Only
Eastern
one?
Conference final.
Or, I'm sorry, one Eastern Conference final and 1 Stanley Cup final with San Jose, right?
Oh, because that would have been when he was.
Oh, yeah, he was.
So that was no.
Duh.
Also.
Anyways.
He went.
He was in a conference finals.
He did Western Conference finals with San Jose.
Right. So he's been to 2 conference finals, which... To me, that says something. I get it. You haven't won a Stanley Cup.
I don't know if we're Cup contenders still, but I mean I'd like it to be at least more interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be more interesting that way.
For the last 35, 40 years, this team has been based on having electric players. Mario. Jaromir Jagr, Ron Francis,
Paul
Coffey. I mean, we could keep going.
Tom Barrasso.
Yeah, well, I was
Kovalev.
Yeah, Kovalev
was his own unique.
Yeah.
specimen.
Kevin Stevens. I mean, Rick Tocchet in his own
Ulf Samuelsson.
Yeah. So when you think about
Sidney
it,
Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Chris
Letang, Marc-Andre Fleury. Since we threw in Tom Barrasso, we might as well throw in Flower. I mean,
even like you got some other like Ruslan Fedotenko won a couple of cups. Like some solid guys have been through here. Bill Guerin.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So like but the Penguins have always prided themselves on being a fast, skilled team. They have never been when they were successful. They have never
winning team.
When they've been in the playoffs or made deep runs in the playoffs, they've never been the Vegases of the game. They've never been the St. Louis Blues when they won the Cup. They've been the back-to-back Stanley Cup in 2016, 2017. They've been that Colorado team that just won it.
They outskate you or outskill you, which is why I really want to see them play Colorado.
Yeah, and this team now,
I think Colorado would kill us, but it would be fun to watch. It'd be like 7-5 games.
I mean,
it'd be great.
So when you look at Colorado, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, they had a really good bottom six when they won the Cup, and they had Cale Makar, Devon Toews, Sam Girard. I mean, to me, when you look at it now, our guys are clearly, I would say our defensemen are better. Chris Letang, Ryan Graves. Sure, Ryan Graves may not be as offensive as Devon Toews, but I think he's going to be this team's Brian Dumoulin in the 2016-2017 stretch, especially, where Brian Dumoulin actually could play this kind of a game. He had some speed back in the day. He could move the puck, and that's what this team's doing now. They're getting young speed, maybe not necessarily young in Erik Karlsson. I get it, he's 33. But in this trade, the team did get younger. Maybe not significantly, but everybody's like, oh, they're old, they're going to the retirement home. Well, they got younger by getting the best defenseman in the league.
And I think too, like people are underestimating like what they kind of like they say like maybe like some people say and like they're gonna get stuffed in a locker. Like I mean like Noah Chari's not exactly like a soft guy.
Yeah,
like,
I heard.
I know they're not like big monsters or anything, but like I've watched them play Vegas in person. And
yeah, I mean I know some of the guys on like Spit and Chicklets. Well, not some, but the one guy on Spit and Chicklets, Grinnell, he was saying that like the Penguins don't have any dogs, and exactly what you said. I mean Noah Chari. And forget Sidney Crosby. Everybody knows that he has the dog in him. But like
I'm hating that you're saying this right now.
I know,
dog.
but it's true.
No, because
like
you know
Noah
what?
Chari has it. Matt Nieto has it. I mean, let's face it.
I don't know if he has it yet. We're gonna see.
I think he does. He had anyway. He's got that. So here's a way I would describe Matt Nieto. He's more of a maybe not a dog, but he's a water bug. He's just relentless. He's not going to stop on the forecheck. He's going to pressure the puck constantly, and he's not afraid to put a body on people. And quite frankly, other than like Josh Archibald, we didn't have that in our bottom six last year. We'll have Noah Chari, and I think that these guys will find the right pairings to be able to produce. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to produce, stellar bottom six numbers, but they're I think they are going to be an improvement over last year's bottom six, and quite frankly, any of the bottom six that we've seen in recent years that the Penguins have.
So who cares about the bottom six at this point? I care about the power play.
And well, here's another thing before we get into the power play, still at even strength. The best defenseman, in my opinion, that Gino has played with in his tenure has been maybe what Gonchar and Justin Schultz. Now you're going to give him either one of Erik Karlsson or Chris Letang.
I mean, he's always been playing with Chris Letang, but like.
Well, I mean, 5-on-5 though. Like, I mean, he hasn't like sustained any minutes with. You know what I mean? Sure, they get the odd shifts together and whatnot.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. I mean, like
I think so.
It's gonna be interesting. So, I mean, that's kind of what we're going to do here. So, like, I mean, it's gonna be because I mean, you're gonna have the ability to come playoff time if you absolutely need to. Your bottom six and D, you can still run those two guys. Just run those two guys, because those guys can play 30 minutes a night.
Exactly.
And who cares?
Yeah. So when
like
when you're thinking about the defense. Your bottom pairing is going to play at most, I would say. I don't see them playing 15 minutes a night just because, like I said, you have Erik Karlsson and Chris Letang. Both of them played, I think Letang played 24 and a half minutes and Karlsson played 25, something like that. So you're getting almost the entirety of the game right there. Do you want to ride those two that hard? Maybe not. Do you want to rely on Chad Ruhwedel on the right side a little bit more than 10, 12 minutes a night? I don't think so. When you have guys like Karlsson and Letang who, sure, maybe, Karlsson doesn't defend very well. But as Mike Sullivan said the other day, if you have the puck on your stick, that's the best kind of defense there is, and that's what those two do. So it'll be interesting to see. And then, like you were saying on the power play, I mean, this power play is going to be electric.
We hope.
Yeah.
We hope, because we've put it together, and we've thought that that you'd be able to have a pretty solid power play with a lot of the different pieces that we've had over the years. But there's been times and times again where it's floundered, and it's been a little disappointing, to say the least, to kind of see the middle of the pack results that they feel
right.
That they
I think we were
do whenever we
14th this year on the power play.
They're gonna have to adjust to his play, and I hope that they're ready to do that. And I think that is something, after missing the playoffs and then doing this. This is the only move really that you could make to really shake up the core without literally trading away players. Because everybody says
this is the only move to make besides just blowing everything up. I mean,
but you can't blow everything up when you just signed all the guys,
right?
This is
the only
You want the best move that can be possibly made. Congratulations, Kyle
Dubas.
He brought you the best move.
You can't ask for more in this situation. Like we said, hey, we'll give you all of our bad players for your best player.
Mm-hmm. So because we're gonna be able to put that guy who can man the point. If you watch Karlsson play in San Jose, he just mans the point. And he manages to keep that puck in, the way that he keeps that puck in on the blue line, the possession, the distribution, the way he's setting up, and the way he controls the play, ultimately.
Right.
How he can really quarterbacks a power play. He is fully in charge, and then you have those other guys at the dispersal there. Boom, boom, boom. And then
you have Gino back in his one-time spot. Because Gino's one-timer, now granted, yes, it's not Ovi's one-timer or Mayonnaise.
And from what we've seen, too, from the Penguins, that seems like Chris Letang that's a role that he was willing to give up, whenever they decided to make this
move. We're going for this move, yeah. I do think we're going to see two defensemen. I do think they're both going to be out there. But, I mean, think about a power play with, on paper, a power play with Jake Gensel, Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Erik Karlsson, and Chris Letang. Who's stopping that?
Themselves.
Exactly. I was going to say, more often than not, that power play is going to score. I mean, that's... I think the only... Again, on paper, the only power play that might rival this power play... Or that will, I would say.
Well, let's say the Edmonton is your golden standard as far as power plays go.
And that's what I was gonna say.
Because I literally wanted to spend $120 just to go watch Edmonton's power play in person.
Oh my God, that would have been amazing.
Yeah, it was worth all $120 and more. I did not care. It was worth the show.
Yeah,
and I can imagine. We'll recommend. And this will be a good power play to go see.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting one way or another.
And like we said.
And I think if you have it, and you're not going to have Gensel at the start of the year. So,
but it'll only be 6 games, is what I'm hearing.
That's what he says now, but we never know.
Right.
We never know, because we also heard they're going to be reevaluated in 12 weeks, which is more than 6 games.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll see about that. But Rickard Rakell's a very capable player.
Exactly.
Well. Yeah, he scored at least was it 30 last year or just under 30?
I think he might have been around 25, 27, somewhere in there. But still, I mean, again, just adding Erik Karlsson gives this power play on paper a different dynamic. Not that Chris Letang doesn't know or didn't know how to run a power play. But like you said, it's just the way that he can control it and skate with the puck and find the open plays.
Yeah, and so the way that they ran the power play too, with Letang kind of at the point position, it was distributing. It kind of more or less went through Malkin on that whatever side he wanted to be on at that moment, really. Yeah. Because he kind of just floated between the two sides, and then everybody else floated down low.
It was pretty easy to read because you knew it was coming.
Yeah, you could break it down like that.
Theoretically, now it should be a lot harder to read. I mean,
because who do you go to?
Because, like I said, in my opinion, you'll have Karlsson up top. If they're doing an umbrella, which I would imagine they will, they'll have Karlsson up top, Gino on the left, Letang on the right, and then I guess
Sid and Rakell playing down low somewhere.
Yeah, it's just.
But you know what I like about this though? Those guys can all
interchange pretty well
the positions, and I think
they're all pretty good at deflections. They're all pretty good at playing. I mean, Rakell and Sid, I think, are obviously a little bit better in front of the net than Gino. Yeah. But push comes to shove, you put Gino in front. I mean, there's a lot of different ideas that you can do. And here's the thing. Erik Karlsson isn't strictly going to go, okay, well, I'm the point man. I'm just going to stay up top. He's going to create. He's going to skate through the zone with the puck and wait for these little lanes to open up.
And he's going to make those zone entries just exponentially easier. The zone entries.
And that's where we struggled last year, was getting into the zone, getting out of our zone and getting it into our offensive zone, which is not where you want to struggle in the game of hockey. You want to have a good transition game.
Yeah, you absolutely need it. And like a defenseman like that, he literally brings that transition game.
Yeah, I mean that's
in a Bobby Orr
pretty much his game. And again, yeah, he's offensive. But when it comes to playing defense, he is good at getting the puck away from the person that has it and keeping it on his stick. Can't ask for much more if you ask me.
No, absolutely not. And it's just really gonna. And as long as these guys like Malkin and them just Malkin and Sid just actually stick to I don't know. They got to be open-minded. I think that's the biggest thing. Right. I think they got to be open-minded, and because I think there's going to be different points at this season where this power play is going to change looks completely.
Absolutely, yeah, and it'll be necessary.
And it's going to take a bit to click.
Yeah. It's not like it's going to work right out of training camp here in the next couple of months. I mean,
it usually doesn't work like that, but maybe.
How amazing would it be if it just in the first few weeks, it's just oh yeah, no, back of the net, yep, okay, 4 for 5 on the power play tonight.
How long until Yinzer start to get angry if the power play is
2 weeks?
2 weeks, you think? I'd say that. I was thinking 3 games. 3 games, no power play. That's
probably actually how long the first 2 weeks will be. There'll probably be 3 games in the first 2 weeks of the season.
So that's it's just so many different ways because like you said, he just creates so many different ways coming into the zone,
and it's never the same way. So when you look at the Penguins' power play this year, when they were coming into the zone, when they had the puck in the neutral zone or their zone, they would come out, they would get across the red line, and then they would dump it back to the guys skating up behind. That's so easy to play against. I mean, I've literally played against that style, and it's so easy to shut down. And Erik Karlsson is going to change that. Chris Letang, you saw it in spurts last year and throughout his career, where he can rush the puck up the ice as a one-man wrecking crew, so to speak. But that's 70% of Erik Karlsson's game. I mean, you just couldn't ask for something better for the Penguins.
No, it's got me
coming
ecstatic.
Into this offseason.
It's got me ecstatic. It's still just the possibilities are mind numbing, and I'm sure it's going to be something we're going to continue to hear about.
Think about it now, because now.
Did you see on the Penguins social media page that there's actually a picture of Erik Karlsson?
Yeah,
looking at Erik Karlsson. In a Penguins jersey already.
Yeah, in like the I think at the practice center in Cranberry.
They had the frame already readied up.
Yeah, that was insane. He was like, "Wow." He was like, "I remember whenever they used to just do this, and it was like, your face on somebody else's body, pretty much. Like now, he's like, that literally looks like me." He's like, you can, like, that, you wouldn't know that was not, like, my body, essentially. Like,
yeah, it's
not me you wouldn't have known that I didn't play or do anything in a Penguins jersey at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, so that, oh, man, I just can't wait. It's going to be, I know we still got a ways to go. We still got a good ways to go to hockey season.
And obviously we are not under the cap. We're still slightly over. So some moves are going to have to be made. And, I mean, you can send some people down. I think we're at 22 people right now on the active roster.
Yeah, and you're still going to have training camp and people battling for spots. And
so, I mean,
things will happen. And
one thing I've heard after the Karlsson trade, I heard, don't be surprised if the Penguins look into going after Thomas Tatar.
Could be hopeful.
I mean, he's kind of like a Brian Rust, where he can just play up and down your lineup. And I think last year, he had 23 goals, something like that in New Jersey.
Yeah, he's
like a
25-ish goal player, typically.
And you know what? To have that on like a third line? I mean, now you're pretty much guaranteeing yourself out of Jeff Carter being in your lineup.
Well, yeah, and that's something that
I know that'll make a lot of Penguins fans happy.
This training camp's going to be interesting because, I think we mentioned it last week too. Like I think we have like 16 or 17 forwards now, that are technically NHL caliber players.
Yeah, because don't forget, you still have like Sam Poulin down in the minors who could see time this year.
I don't know if he will in this team.
I don't know.
Andreas Jansson's already one that intrigues me.
And then you still have Alex Nylander, who I think might, especially with Gensel being out for a little bit, I think he's going to make the opening night roster.
We shall see. I mean, if we get Tatar, it might not be necessary.
Yeah, exactly. We'll it's wait and see.
Yeah, because and maybe we still need another defenseman too, because
again, I don't know how comfortable after last year. I don't know how comfortable I am watching Chad Ruhwedel play a whole season.
I feel like almost like $1 million or so would be better spent on another defenseman.
Yeah,
there's surely got to be somebody still out.
Speaking of $1 million, somebody else that we got in the Karlsson trade that I'm kind of excited to watch play would be Rem Pitlick.
Yeah, that's
he's had some.
Did you do some analysis on Rem Pitlick?
Yeah, I looked at the quote unquote advanced stats, and I mean, he looks like he has some offensive upside that hasn't been tapped into, and I think he's only 26. Now, granted, he's been on a bad Montreal team for a couple of years, and I can't remember where he came from before that. But I genuinely think that he will be a good plug-in in the bottom six, and somebody that, when we have injuries to a top six, could step in for a couple of games. Now, I'm not saying, if Jake Gensel's out for the first 30 games, I don't think you're going to see Rem Pitlick playing there the entire time. But is that for me?
I'm looking at UFA defensemen right now, and I came across Nathan Bolio, and I'm gonna stop now. I'm gonna stop now. Okay, so maybe it is Chad Ruedel.
Yeah, again, I think, unfortunately, probably I shouldn't say unfortunately. Chad Ruedel he's a solid defenseman,
and he could always be addressed later. Because I feel like if Kyle Dubas has done anything, like especially if we saw Toronto last year, him just addressing team needs real quick. It doesn't really look like a concern.
He's not afraid to do it in season either.
Yeah, and he got Toronto out of the first round last year, which is like a miracle by their standards.
For the first time in like 35 years.
Toronto fans trying to clown on us. Like, who cares about what they think? They haven't won anything since '67.
I was gonna say,
just like Flyers fans trying to clown on us.
Yeah, honestly. Oh, good luck. Yeah, thanks for who. Did you guys? I think they sent Ron Hextall here to implode us.
But why'd we hire him?
Brainwashing.
Just got everything.
It was the aliens that came down. They brainwashed us, and then they said hire Hextall, and they did it. And then the aliens went back up, and then Ron Hextall is now Pittsburgh Penguins GM. I forgot to put the.
I think you need a tinfoil hat for that one. I don't think that's gonna work. Yeah, no, I don't think that's really Pit Viper-y.
They are not really Pit Viper-y, but still, they work really well for $4, especially.
Yeah, this just feels like a Pit Viper-y though. Like this, like feels like just the whole thing. We should have just wore the Pit Vipers in here, but like it's reality.
It is, yeah. I mean,
we still doesn't feel.
3 episodes ago, we were saying Erik Karlsson fever dreams, and
yeah, I said that these are fever dreams, and I was like, it's just like probably one crazy rumor.
I think if we go back, you said it was ridiculous, and I said it was probably more of a reality than we thought. Well, I'll have to go back and listen, but
right, yeah, I was gonna say it'll be interesting. I did post it back on there. That's episode 3, I believe was the fever dreams. Yeah, that's oh man, yeah, that'll be interesting. We can go back and already laugh at ourselves now.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, it'll be interesting here, especially if we ended up like being terrible. But whatever, our pick's top 10 protected
again. Yeah, and that's kind of I mean, it would suck to get the 11th pick and then not have it.
Who cares if you don't get the 11th pick?
This draft is looking pretty deep.
Yeah,
I know it's obviously really early, but I think this coming year
analysis.
I think this coming year's draft might overall be better than. I'm not saying the number 1 pick is going to be better from this year or from this coming year than Connor Bedard, but
I feel like I hear that every year for all the draft classes,
right?
For all the sports. And then you got guys like Zion Williamson who are actually
he's like 360 pounds now.
It's like, I don't know. This Alexis Lafreniere was going to be a big thing at one point, and he's not. Yeah. And I think that just might be the Rangers, though. I just think that's
could be because Capo Caco hasn't
that's
popped off like everybody thought he would either, and he got drafted the same year as Jack Hughes, right? Or no? Yeah,
I think that was a debate. Like
because it was
Line A in his draft year too.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, so who cares about them? They're not on our team. But so anyways, we got shirts now.
We do.
Yeah, if you're not watching online or seeing us, but yeah, the YinzCenter t-shirts. Check out how you can get them on our socials or wherever.
Yeah, we'll post them.
If you know us, you can hit us up directly.
So just text us. Yeah.
This is where
if not, find us on social media at YinzCenter on Twitter.
Yeah, and we'll get
or on Instagram.
We'll get around to it at some point.
Exactly.
But yeah, we got t-shirts. So like, does this make us like an actual podcast now? Like,
I mean, maybe once people like actually like people we don't know start buying them, maybe.
Yeah, once I start getting I saw it looked like we had like a couple listeners outside the country, so
yeah. I think I was looking at. I saw a couple in Belgium. I
don't know if we can reveal that information.
Yeah.
Well,
why not?
This is probably like lots of FCC codes and stuff. Who cares about that stuff?
It's
really?
Fine. I didn't say where.
It's all guesses anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Belgium listeners. We see you.
Shout out anybody listening.
If you want to get a shirt, Belgium listeners,
we'll find a way.
We'll discuss. Anyways, so anything else on Erik Karlsson? I mean, I'm just kind of ready to see like some hockey at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. We're still like a little over a month away. I think we're probably, well, let's see. When we acquired him, it was 65 days, ironically enough, until the regular season started for the Penguins.
Yeah.
So we're, 5 days? So we're just like 60 days away. So yeah, like 2 months away. Right?
60 days away. About
something like I was gonna say because it's starting. Yeah, so right around there.
Should we go to the opener
days.
with our shirts on?
I mean, yeah, we could. I was pushing the trail the other day with this on, and some kid thought like I was like wearing like a fake taxi shirt, just like
shit. It kind of does look like fake taxi, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess he must have thought that like I was like trying to promote like me being a taxi or something like that. I don't know. Because he was like, "Oh, I thought that was like a fake taxi shirt." And he kind of like had like a little
shit.
Yeah, I was like, no, it's for a podcast I do." Fake taxi. Yeah, I was like, "Oh, shit." I mean, maybe a little bit, yeah.
That's a car sticker. Well, either way, then if it is, because this is a car sticker.
Yeah.
The rest of it's just porn.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, you probably should not Google fake taxi. That's Google probably. I mean, you can Google whatever you want. But that's probably
algorithm already doesn't know what to do with me anyway. So
yeah, right. Honestly.
But hey, if anything, I think it gets some kind of checking it out there.
Yeah,
like,
I think so.
Is
yeah,
that fake taxi, or is that like something else?
Oh no, what's that? I'll look that up. Let me look that up because there's not. I don't think there's anything out there other than this called YinzCenter. Nothing that I've seen.
Yeah, the only thing.
So I think as soon as you Google YinzCenter, this should
with
come
one
up.
word. One
word.
Yeah. Yeah. Google will try and take it and suggest you look up 2 words, but tell Google no. I want 1 word.
Google will try to tell you want Sports Center saying Yinz. No.
Do you want to go to Dave and Buster's?
What?
That's what it basically kind of says. It takes you to like fun centers around Pittsburgh. Yinz centers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
There's a fun fact. Yeah. Now you know. Have you tried to Google it yet?
I don't think I have. No.
You haven't tried to Google your own show yet?
Well, I haven't tried to Google it. I've searched it on YouTube and Spotify, and I downloaded iHeart to make sure it was on iHeart.
Yeah, iHeartRadio. Yeah. I guess we are there.
Yeah. I don't have Apple Podcasts.
Google Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts.
It's Google Podcasts. Apple Podcasts.
I like how we're just sitting here naming all the podcasts.
All the podcast stations that we're on.
But no, I mean, back to the whole Erik Karlsson thing. Like I said,
yes.
I think he will be significant to Gino's game. I wouldn't be surprised. You know how many points Gino put up last year?
I want to say in the 60-ish range.
Let's see.
I feel like it was like 30 and 30-ish.
83.
Oh,
so he was a point per game last year. And quite honestly, I mean, so Sid was at 91 or something like that, 93, 95, something like that. He was in the 90s.
90s and 80s.
Right. And they're mid to late, well, no, we'll call it mid-30s. I mean, and then you give Gino and Sid somebody else that can quite frankly, Erik Karlsson plays the game defensively like no other defenseman does today. Erik Karlsson is unlike any defenseman we've seen in the last 30 years, I would say.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know we've done 35 minutes now of positive Erik Karlsson talk.
So, it's time.
Is there what happens?
You might want to turn up the sound.
What happens? Oh,
there.
If it all goes wrong. Because, I mean, it could.
I guess both of those are kind of fitting, actually, when you think about it. It's a joke. How bad of a joke is it if it goes wrong?
Yeah.
How sick of a joke, you know. But here's the thing.
Because, I mean, Erik, let's look at the downside.
He's under contract for 4 more years, right? Crosby and Malkin both have 2 years left on their deal, I do believe.
Malkin has more years.
Okay, so maybe Gino has 3, Sid has 2. Whatever. Yes, Sid definitely has 2.
We're still not looking at the worst case scenario because Erik Karlsson, he is a prolific offensive defenseman. You have 2 players taking chances like Letang. They're continuing to get older. They get hurt. They're slower. And, then all of a sudden our defense is virtually non-existent again. We got one guy trying to you do have Ty Smith.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how he comes back this year. Because he missed most of the end of last season, and Wilkes-Barre he took a puck to the face. I think
he'll be all right.
I think he'll be okay. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a battle at camp for that number 6 spot, because I think POJ has kind of now solidified himself as a top 6 defenseman.
Has he? I don't know. I was unimpressed going into the end of last season, but I was also unimpressed with a lot of things going into the end of last season. Because I'm just saying that there's a chance it could all go badly. Do end up in that.
Well, and here's the thing:
no man land territory. Is a top 10 protected pick actually something that might be a valid concern
for us
that we might end up getting a top 10 pick?
It could.
That on the table?
We want to talk about worst case scenarios, right? Worst case scenario, Letang and Karlsson both have a pretty injury prone past, we'll call it. And they're both not getting any younger.
Yeah. So. Well, let's take injury out of it, because injuries are they're.
Oh yeah. The injuries are part of the game, so take injuries out.
You don't think that the run and gun play style of both defensemen might lead to some potential chaos, like everything kind of being and Tristan Jarry not exactly being the strongest goalie,
right? I think that's more of a concern than the defensive aspect, because Mike Sullivan's already come out and say listen, Erik and Chris are both elite offensively, and we don't want to take that away from them, but we don't want to not have a structure as a team. So that right there tells me he's going to hold these guys accountable defensively, and then allow them to do what they want offensively. But it's a give and take. You're not, to me, you can't do what you do in the offensive zone if you can't at least soundly take care of your own defensive zone. And
you do have some good teams. You do have some good teams coming up too. You got, New Jersey's getting they're a young team on the rise.
Listen, the Rangers are still a good team. They kind of imploded at the end of last year with all the acquisitions they got, but they still have probably one of the, I would maybe argue, one of the top 3 best goalies in the world right now. Between Shesterkin Vasilevsky and maybe Sorokin too. Because, I mean, let's face it, the Islanders are pretty shit, but he's kept them in the last number of years. So, I mean, and they didn't get better, I think, the Islanders. So that will help us. But again, I mean, like you said, there's a lot of good teams in
Carolina's the division winner from last year. New Jersey's been better, and they're on the rise. There's still some question marks in net and whatnot, I think. The Rangers are. You know what? I'm also a Ranger hater. I think I might be the biggest Ranger hater out there. Because, like, fuck them. Like, I don't know. I mean, fuck them.
Yeah. But here's the thing,
they're just pompous, and I like it whenever we kick New York's ass.
Yeah. Another team that I think,
I think we're better than them at this point. I'd say we're a better team than the Rangers today.
Yes, but again, I coming down to goaltending, I would give it to them.
And we'll see, because I mean we got the offense.
I mean, I get it. Tristan Jarry is a 2-time All-Star, but the last number of years he's played has not been anything impressive.
And I don't think Washington's any better.
Washington, no. They might.
I don't think Philly's.
They'll pick up a couple
Philly's
more
worse.
wins. Philly's worse. Yeah, I think Philly's tanking for try to get this number 1 pick.
And Columbus will be better.
Because yet
they
again,
can't be much worse. They got Fantilli.
They're
words, young.
2 words for Columbus. Mike Babcock. I don't know. I feel like
do that again.
Mike Babcock. You're not gonna hit the. I thought you were gonna hit the car crash button.
No, I just wanted the camera on you when you said it.
Oh.
Anyways, yeah. Now, so I mean, they'll be better than last year.
And I know that
because you can't get much worse than 59 points accumulated in the season.
Yeah,
because that was the second lowest in the NHL last year, which was 58.
So it still goes 1 through. So like because I'm thinking Buffalo might be a playoff team this year. They might make the wild card spot.
Yeah, so if you open it up into the other division,
right?
With Bergeron gone, Boston's gonna be worse. They're going to let down people after a great season last year.
That, no doubt. They're already down Bergeron. Does Krejci leave again?
Probably. I think he's already unsigned.
He's already unsigned. I'm pretty sure he was only on a 1-year deal.
Yep.
So he's unsigned. So there goes your top 2 centers. And I mean, all of the top centermen in the free agent market are already gone.
Oh yeah, free agents are all scooped.
That's what I mean. Point. So,
except like Patrick Kane.
Yeah, but he's not going to be back till November, December because of his hip surgery.
Yep. So let me lay out the Atlantic from last year too: Boston, Toronto, Tampa, Florida, Buffalo, Ottawa, Detroit, Montreal. Yeah, Buffalo is probably a lot of people's team to make the playoffs from last year for sure. Break into that mix, while Boston's probably a lot of people's teams to drop out.
Yeah, honestly,
because where do you stack up the Penguins with Florida, who just sneaked in ahead of them last year because they couldn't beat? Well, they deserved to. I think beat
Florida
Columbus or Chicago.
Florida was a hard team to play against, but I think Bob actually had the best playoffs he's had in a long time for them. Not just for them, but
yeah, he played lights out in that Toronto series.
He stole a couple of series for them. So I would think, and I don't think they really got any better either, did they? Florida.
And they seemed about the same. I thought the biggest acquisition I remember seeing, I think they lost Duclair, and then they signed Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
Yeah, and I don't think OEL's going to be what they need.
Yeah, he's not going to be any type of game changer or anything.
Right.
He's just going to be another solid guy that they can rely on to eat some minutes. Yeah, because I like Buffalo. Because, I mean, Toronto's probably still going to make it, too, like, in there.
Yeah, Toronto, I think, is in. I mean, like you said, Boston, I don't know about. Florida, I think Florida
Tampa probably find ways back in.
Tampa, I mean, you can't count Tampa out. I mean...
Yeah, they kind of earned that respect at this point.
It's like the Penguins. Until they don't make it, you can't count them out. Like,
yeah, a healthy Kucherov and Hedman,
Stamkos, Hedman, Vasi. I mean, sure, yeah, they lost Killorn, they lost Palat in the year before. But I mean, like you said, with those 3-4 guys, Braden Point, as long as those guys stay healthy.
Braden Point coming off a 50-goal year.
Yeah. And go ahead.
Yeah, and maybe Ottawa takes another stride. They kind of seem to be like one step forward, 2 steps back.
Yeah, because DeBrinket's gone. Yeah, because that sucks because they just got Chikrin last year. They brought somebody else in.
It was Dominic Kubalik was part of the DeBrinket deal.
For DeBrinket, but I thought they brought in like a free agent. I can't remember.
Vladimir Tarasenko.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, he'll be okay for them.
They just kind of, I don't trust their goaltending either.
Yeah, because they brought in Korpisalo, right?
Yeah, so I think, like, I don't know. I break it down. I kind of look at the rest of the East right now. I mean, Carolina, New Jersey.
Does Carolina win the East this year?
Nah. I don't know. I think they're missing something.
I feel like they're
missing that elite game breaker player. They're missing that.
They don't have their best player, in my opinion, is Sebastian Aho. And while he's very, very, very good, he can't take over a game.
Yeah, he can just always be very good.
And same with their defensemen. Brent Burns, very, very good. Jacob Slavin, very good. Nothing wrong
with being very good, but like when it comes down to winning cups,
you got to have somebody to be able to take it to the next level, and they just can't, if you ask me. I mean, and I don't think they have the goaltending to come in and steal a game here or there in the playoffs either. I'm not the biggest Freddie Anderson fan.
Yeah, and we'll see how it all plays out. We still got a ways to go here.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately, if I were to put something like, kind of just put together right now, I'd probably put the Penguins, best case scenario. I'm looking like they're probably finishing in the top 3 in the Eastern Conference as a whole.
Yeah.
If you count all the teams, because I think. Carolina, New Jersey, they're probably very likely. I just sense though.
I'm not sold on New Jersey's goaltending either. By the way,
I'm sensing a playoff matchup with them though, and I'm sensing one in the second round against New Jersey. There's a tingling sensation
for us against them or Carolina and New Jersey?
Us against New Jersey. Yeah. I just kind of have
the quote-unquote young guns against the old guys.
Yeah, because like Carolina, because like
yeah, God,
could see because like I don't know, man. Something about the Devils, it's always tormented me in a way because I just feel like whether it be like just the way that they trapped and everything, and
the old style Devils used to just piss everybody off.
Yeah.
And now it's like I want to ram it down your throat while you're not playing that kind of a game.
Exactly.
I want to make you pay for all those years that Lou Lamoriello was your GM and
making you play like
made you play a shutdown 1-0 game.
Yeah, and like it's I don't know. I have a feeling it could just be there. Like it could be like. Maybe we have a good regular season. We finish in the top of the division, and they duke it out, and we beat whoever. or we beat whoever.
I mean, there's a real chance that like you said, that we could finish top 3 of the East this year. I mean, if Tristan Jarry can stay healthy, that's one big thing, and then his level of play as well. Because when he's at his best, he's a top 10, 15 goalie in the league when he's at his best, I would say. I mean, you can't have 31, 32 teams with a number 1 goalie. I mean, somebody's going to have to take a middle of the pack goalie. Colorado won it with a middle of the pack goalie, if you ask me.
And I think I don't think it's necessarily. It's just kind of somebody gets hot at one point in the season, and
like I said, I think I personally would take a Tristan Jarry over
Matt Murray.
Well, I mean, today, yes, but I mean
Johan Hedberg.
No, the Colorado goalie.
Darcy Kemper.
Yes. I would have to say that Tristan Jarry is a better goalie than Darcy Kemper.
Oh yeah, there's not.
So and so yeah, right.
Like there's just that's why it's just like well,
and that's why Washington just kind of imploded last year. Because again, Colorado played the skill and puck possession game because they have guys like Devon Taves, like Cale Makar. And we have now Erik Karlsson and Chris Letang. I mean, and then obviously they have McKinnon, Landeskog, who's I don't know what his future is apparently anymore, but Rantanen. It's like, I mean, when you think about it, that's kind of the same layout that we have. A subpar, average goalie, 3, 4, 5, like above average forwards and defensemen, and then you have your bottom 6 that plays the defensive game. I mean, when you think about it, when yes, the Penguins' third line when they had back-to-back cups was Nick Bonino, Carl Hagelin, and Phil Kessel. I get Phil Kessel wasn't a third liner back then, and was in that role. Sure, this team may not have a Phil Kessel on the third line, but your third line is going to be able to play defensively and still chip in pretty well. And I think you're going to be surprised at how much our fourth line, especially, but the third line as well, play in the offensive zone. I think they're going to spend more time there this year than we did last year. And then, again, I think they're just metrically going to be better in the defensive zone.
I think it's just apparent with just the players we have versus last year that it's going to be better. Like it's not really any. You could use the fancy stats to back you up. I don't know. I'm not a big fancy stats guy.
I'm not either, but I know there's people that are, and I look at them because doing this, why not look at everything and make people happy?
Everything you're thinking. Yeah,
and then be able to actually come on here and people were like, well, how can you just do it with the eye test? Well, it's not just the eye test. I'm not just sitting here and watching. There's proof. So,
I'm people. You need to see the eye. You get the eye test. You just gotta learn. You gotta learn the game.
Yeah, that's just it. I mean, once you have 20 plus years watching the game, you're like, okay, you can kind of see it. And I think Noah Chari will be a very I'm looking for well-rounded, I guess. He'll be more well-rounded in that bottom 6 area as compared to, like I said, last year. When you can play better defensively in front of your goalie, and then not only that, get the puck out and into the offensive zone.
So basically, what you're saying is you play good.
When you play
good hockey, that you're gonna win games.
John Madden here,
right? So, anyways,
you gotta score more points than the other team.
I do want to point out though what I think could be a realistic worst case scenario here. Because we kind of have not too much more time left here. There's a chance. Maybe Columbus takes a good leap. I don't want to underestimate that possibility.
They could. I just don't know that they have the goaltending to back it up.
But maybe some guy takes a leap.
I mean, Elvis could, right? Elvis
Merzlikins, yeah.
Yeah,
maybe.
He could. Yeah, I don't know.
And then you got maybe Boston still hangs in. Hangs in.
They still could.
Now, let me talk. You talked a good bit. Boston still hangs in. Toronto is still elite again. Tampa Bay still elite again. Florida's still competing. Buffalo's taking that next stride. And then maybe even Detroit takes a stride too. And, maybe they're looking like 11th place in the East somehow. Because maybe the Islanders, Rangers, maybe I'm wrong on the Rangers again. And then Columbus takes strides, and then granted injuries are a part of the game, or maybe something, just doesn't mesh and it's not great. Maybe they do finish in that range. I realistically don't see that happening, but I gotta at least present a worst case scenario. Yeah. I can't just let this show come to a conclusion without realistically kind of because we all have sky high expectations because he is one of these elite superstar caliber players. He's been one with Ottawa and he was one a bit with San Jose. He won the Norris with San Jose and 2 more in Ottawa. So that's pretty much as elite as it gets. Yeah. And there's still some risk. Maybe it blows up with the defense. Marcus Pettersson nor Ryan Graves can mesh with them, and hopefully, I would imagine that I think Marcus Pettersson can play with just about anybody.
Yeah, I think so.
I think they'll figure out ways to make it work. Whenever, because, the more I keep talking about these worst case scenarios, it's just so unlikely.
I was going to say, it just seems laughable almost.
Because I don't think Erik Karlsson's got an ego by any means.
And doesn't seem like it.
And I remember him in 2017 being pretty humble whenever he lost to Sid in that double overtime game.
Right.
You go to double overtime, all you can really do at that point is just
you go to Game 7 double overtime.
Good game. Yep. I gave you everything.
Yeah. It'll be a very exciting year again for Penguins fans, and since 2018, I don't think the Penguins have had this exciting on paper of a team. Because 2018 to me was the last real chance that the Penguins had. Because I think we lost. That was the year Washington won it, and we lost them in the second round, right?
Yeah. I haven't been this over the moon about a trade since Phil Kessel.
Yes. And that was 8 years ago, 6 to 8 years ago?
Yeah, that was the 2015, 16.
Yeah, so 7, 8 years ago.
Yep.
Crazy.
So, I'm really looking forward to a lot of this. And, he's got Steeler camp right around the corner here.
We're already there.
Mm-hmm. So, we decided, to start up a dynasty football league as well, so Nevin can actually start learning NFL stuff and talking about
They're
things.
Pulling me in.
Yeah.
Not they, Cody.
Yeah, he's got no choice. So at least that'll be something kind of interesting to follow, see what he can do.
You can hear how bad my fantasy team is every week and how I weekly forget to set my roster.
Yeah, you can reach out to Nevin directly on Twitter at YinzCenter, and you can tell him what to do with his dynasty team because he actually needs help. He's not ready. He's very poorly prepared, and we're going to throw this on him very quickly.
I got told last night.
Yep.
Actually, no, it was earlier today.
Yesterday, something like that.
Yeah, whatever.
I had the idea yesterday. Anyways, so this is gonna be it's gonna be interesting here because
interesting something.
At least it's only 8 teams for your sake, so
so I can only finish 8th. All right, cool.
Yeah, you can only finish in 8th place, so that's not too bad.
That's the mindset to have.
Yeah, there's only 7 people that can possibly be better at you than this in this fantasy league, so. That should be cool for you,
Yeah, it'll be the first time in a while. I think we did whenever we were younger. I think I used to do them with you guys.
I don't think you did. Or either that or we just went
I think
ahead.
it was like before you guys like started doing it for money.
I signed you up, and then we just rated your team anyway. That's probably what happened.
Oh.
Hey, Nev, here's your team. And then basically, like, it was like a public ESPN league. And me and...
No, that was the fantasy hockey league where you drafted my team and I went undefeated.
Well, that was a good time, too. But, we would just, like, draft your team, and then I'd have the commissioner powers, and I'd just be like, all right, I'm just taking whoever I want.
Everybody.
Yeah, so...
I give you all of my bad players for your good player.
Yeah, just like Kyle Dubas did.
Yeah. Look at that, folks. We have a future Kyle Dubas here.
Yeah, you just
give him 3 more years, and he'll be in the National Hockey League.
Maybe.
Just like Kyle Dubas.
Maybe. We shall
34
see.
and in the NHL.
There ain't no way. It's greener. That's going to happen.
I would shit my pants if that happened.
Yeah. Is there anything else? Yeah, so name some football players real quick as we get ready.
Man, I was excited for Pirates, man. I saw some the other day.
No, you got to name
Chris Fuamatu Ma'afala.
You got to name active NFL players.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, so to end the show, come on. Let's see if you can get to 10.
Davian Clowney.
He's not on a team.
Fuck. Chase Young. CJ Stroud. I said Bryce Mitchell. He's an MMA fighter. What the hell am I thinking? TJ Watt, Minka Fitzpatrick, Najee Harris, Kenny Pickett, Pat Freiermuth, George Pickens.
All right, now name a couple that aren't Steelers. You got 2 non-Steelers and 6 Steelers. So just 2 more players that aren't Steelers. And they got to be offensive players.
Okay, cool. Aaron Rodgers and Pat Mahomes. Suck it.
That was a good way.
Oh, I wanted to name a couple of Pirates real quick.
Okay.
Go ahead. I want you to start.
Oh, are we doing the Pirate? Okay.
I saw one the other day, and I was like, he's going to shit his pants if I want to drop this one on him.
Pokey Reese.
Jack Wilson. That's not the one I was going for.
Craig Wilson.
Freddie Sanchez.
Tyke Redmond.
Aramis Ramirez.
Yeah. Is it you just?
I got one more, so go ahead.
Paul Mahomes.
This is the one. This is my last one. Xavier Nady.
And that's your one?
That was my one. I saw it. I just saw it somewhere. Like I can't remember if I saw it on Twitter or what. And I was like, "Wow, this one feels good to me."
Great. Xavier Nady. Shit. Thanks for listening.
You're welcome, YinzCenter fans.
Shout
out Xavier Nady.
Have a good weekend, and we'll be back next week. And,
let's go, Bucks.
Talk some football. Lego Bears.
Kyle Dubas got Erik Karlsson. Holy shit.